You are listening to Visions of the Future, the podcast of Startup 50 in collaboration with Labnest. This podcast series is all about innovative startups, entrepreneurship, personal development, and the visions of the future. Each episode will feature a different startup, organization, government party, scientist, or stakeholder to share his or her story under the premise of Visions of the Future. Presented by Julian Leijzer, initiator of Startup 50, the network for startups and innovation, and Valerie van Zuylen, founder director of Labnest, the breeding ground for future entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Iris, for being here today. We love you. We love you. And we love you already. No, we really love the idea you have, and perhaps you can explain what it is.
Okay, thank you for having me here. Yes, so at Mylium we create a new type of textile made from fungal threads, and that's called mycelium. And we grow this mycelium in bioreactors, in liquid medium, and then we produce these beautiful textiles from it. And most people would say it looks quite similar to leather. So that's also our first target market, to create this alternative more for synthetic leather, I would say, that can be created on rolls and sold as a replacement for synthetic leather.
Right, great. And how did you came on this idea?
Yeah, so it started, so I'm from Wageningen. I also studied at the university there, first environmental sciences and then biotechnology. I always had a strong focus on, I want to create this new production process, starting from biomass, preferably waste streams, and then working towards new materials, or at least adding to the bio-based and circular economy. So after my studies, there was this student event. It was kind of like a challenge, a bio-based challenge, design a new value chain for the region of Dongen, which is a small place south in the Netherlands, in Brabant. And we got inspired by that region, that it has such a strong leather focus from the history. We were rethinking how to recreate leather that is even more sustainable, for example. And that's where the idea started from, to use at first mushrooms or mycelium to create this alternative.
And how sustainable is it? Because I think people will ask, hey, is this much more sustainable than what we've already got?
Yeah, that is intrinsically why we exist. So that's what we work towards. And it is a very sustainable sheet that I have here. But I would say, it's not that I'm against leather per se. I think it's a beautiful product and it's a waste stream. So as long as we have cows, as long as people still eat meat, we have to make use of these beautiful hides. But next to leather, there's also a large industry in synthetic leather. And there's just so much demand for this leather-like material. So if we want to consume less cows, but still provide enough materials for the future, I would say let's move away from fossil-based synthetics, the plastics, because even our potential clients with who we speak, the synthetic products last less long. They don't feel as natural. So that's really where... Yeah, of course, sure. And that's really where we jump in. So we have this new bio-based material that has a natural feel. It's also vegan. But I also like it that it will be positioned next to animal-based, next to plant-based, next to synthetic-based materials, because the fungal base is a new category. And you can see the surface, it has its own print. And of course, we can also add fashionable prints. I also really like to explore what this material has by nature already.
Yeah.
In
so
itself.
how did you came across? So you of course you studied at Wageningen University. You got in contact with even that it's possible to make this kind of fabric, or how do you come to mycelium, like as a fungi that makes that happen?
I was inspired by a company from the US, Microworks, and they're doing really well right now as well. They also produce mycelium leather-like materials. And basically thought like, it's a really cool idea. And I love the concept how the fungus in nature also serves this circular motor role. They really degrade our waste waste biomass of nature. So if we want to have a circular society, we should also make use of these clever organisms. So I was really inspired by that idea. And then, of course, there are different ways to grow mycelium. And that's where we differentiate from the other company. So it was this inspiration. And in the end, I just felt like with the people I knew around me were also clever. I just felt like we can do this too. And I just was really excited to get started on it, and also to discover what entrepreneurship would be like, because that was also new for me.
Yeah, because of course you are a researcher, and then this new part came into your world. How was that?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say I'm a researcher anymore.
Okay.
I always thought I wanted to be a researcher or do a PhD, or because I loved studying. I love doing the thesis work and like design new processes and experiment in the lab as well. But in the end, when I got to know myself better, and that was also via a lot of coaching, I had this really nice mentor, Christian Koolhoos, who works at Protein Brewery. But he really helped me to discover that what really gives me energy is these types of events, networking, meeting new people, spreading the idea, finding the right partners, and make a strategy plan and to get there. So that's what I'm doing. And I really had to look for the best team of researchers who could help us invent this new type of material. So these credits shouldn't just go to me. That's really our team that made this. And for me, it was quite a big switch, of course, that I'm not the one in the lab, but it's now I love it. I mean, I get to do, I would say, the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. And your team, what does it consist of? Because then you like this part, and you said the other girls are also smart, or women.
Yeah. So we are right now 4 employees within Mylium. So I'm the director and founder, and then Simon Jan Slagman. He's kind of like co-founder. Who's really good also he has the background in biotechnology industry, but he is also just really good on management, keeping track of meeting the deadlines. And I always have a lot of ideas and new people to meet, partners to include, and then together we make this concrete plan. And I think we work really well together. And then we have in the lab working Emma Luitjens, so she's leading our R&D work. She's very creative. I would say she's just out-of-the-box thinker, really interdisciplinary, good at both biotechnology, chemistry. She had a broad study background, but even also in design. So that was just a perfect fit. And then we also have Brent Kemperman, and he's more like a hands-on, practical man that we also really need in our team, because how you need so much equipment to get started as well. And he's also running the bioreactors and more focusing on mycelium cultivation itself. And then we also have, and that's really important, we have a lot of internship students who contribute. bring a lot of value. So then, every half year new people, but mainly we have 3 internship students. And what I find very special is that, for example, at the start we had a lot of internship students from the Netherlands, maybe Weur, but also the Han, and right now also we have 2 internship students from France coming all the way to Wageningen, to work with us in the company. And that's also what I really like, that you can offer this opportunity for people to work on this amazing topic, because there are not so many startups yet working on this. And that we allow people to explore the creativity and their science capabilities on this material. That's what I really like.
Yeah. And France is a totally different culture. What would you say they bring, as in perhaps in value or in different kind of thinking or?
Yeah, so I think the main value that they bring is actually what every internship student also brings is their knowledge and creativity. They're always like really problem solvers. And so right now it's, for example, more a chemist background student. So they all add with their specific field of knowledge to the whole interdisciplinary process, because this material cannot be made by one person. You really need the best biotechnologists, you need the best chemists, you need process design. And I think right now the team that we have, including even new partners, we really have this full, we have complete access to the knowledge that we need right now. So that's great. Amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, I can imagine like creating this structure. Do you have like an additional lab where this is made, or how is that like whole experimentation process?
Yes. So at the beginning I had to, finding labs is not very easy. At first I was working at the university also as a lecturer the past 3 years, part-time, so that I could have still an income, but also part-time set up this long journey. And by working at the university, of course, I had a good network there. And there I got access to a lab facility for a short time, which was really valuable to start. But then unfortunately also that had to stop because they had a contract with another company, so they had to make room. And in that way, it was nice that I was really pushed to find my own location. So we went to Agro Business Park. We're now really amongst the other companies. And it just gives you a clear focus, of course, like paying the rent, you have to speed up and it has to go fast. But also it gives us a lot of space to even welcome the internship students and the employees, of course, that we otherwise couldn't provide the space for. So moving to Agro Business Park was for us essential to grow in the end.
And do you learn from the companies around you, or how is the contact? Or are you focused more right now internally?
I would say it's a nice environment where we are, but it's not that we have a lot of similarities with other companies. But I do learn a lot from being at Start Hub, Start Live environment at Wageningen University on the campus. So I'd like to still go there once every 2 weeks to just work there, to be again surrounded by other entrepreneurs and learn from each other. Because we have a lot to discuss and learn from each other within the team. But as a founder and CEO, I also like to meet other founders of companies and get inspired by them.
Yeah, because Start Lives, did you also start there? Or did you start your company there?
Yes, it was actually after joining this competition. It was a bit scary, like how do you then start? Because I was really asked to, after winning the contest, we were really asked to, okay, let's create a Dutch company in this field. So I still had to learn that I was the right person to do that, because that wasn't naturally there. I was just super curious, and the adventure really appealed to me. The unknown, like so much to learn how the world works, and basically, and so that's why I joined the startup community, and then a 1 week startup week, it's called, in which you do really the basics, like a business canvas model, but more essentially, you get some mentoring there, and then there were some mentors really stating like, Iris, this is a damn good idea. You should pursue this, and that really helped me to switch my mind and really go all in, change my career path and jump in that unknown and exciting world, because it was for me. Another thing that impacted me was that I went to a climate conference, and then Mylium from Urgenda was speaking, and she said, like, we have 10 more years to go, and this was 2017, 10 more years to go to make an impact and get these CO2 emissions down. And I was just starting to calculate, okay, if I do first a PhD and I work on the long-term impact, but then I have maybe 5 years left to, on short term, also make an impact. And then it's like, okay, now I really want to focus on short-term, fast impact. So back then, I was very optimistic that within 5 years, I could set up my company. And I know now it will be a 10-year journey, but we're now close to the momentum is now really coming, and if you can see what we make, then I really hope that in short term we can still have this impact.
Yeah, and I think you are being on the right way, because I know some of the people you work with. What can you not say about it?
Okay, yeah. So to grow in our company, you need a lot of expertise, a lot of equipment. It's high tech. It's you design a new process from scratch. Normally, people would first do a PhD and start a company with that, but I decided I'm just going to do this from scratch. So what we now have, what I really like is, of course, we have a good location to work. We have this really awesome team that's so dedicated and motivated. And then we had expertise also from a scientific board coming in. But now recently we also partnered up with 3 other companies that can provide expertise in the 3 disciplines that we need. So first, mycelium cultivation. So not only at lab scale, but also scaling up to large scale production. They have experience in that. We work together with a company that's really good at polymer chemistry and coating development that we need to increase durability of our material. And we're working together with a company that has the knowledge on how to scale up a process from process engineering perspective. So we really foresee, what I like about our technology is that it's so scalable, because mycelium production in bioreactors at scale is already proven. There's also a lot of food and medicine created that way. But also that it can be produced on a continuous
level.
Let's say, like a continuous
curve
process.
Yeah.
So it's I think that would make a difference, because if we can sell it on roll 140 meter width, then it's really a drop-in material that can be easily, then industry can easily adapt their process to this new material.
And right now you are focusing on fashion or on bags. On what are you focusing on for the beginning, and where do you want to go to?
Yes, at first definitely at fashion. It's even hard not to, and I think it's a good thing. Like a fashion industry, relates to everyone, but we clearly need to have an impact there and make a lot of change. But luckily also these companies are also feeling this pressure, so they come to us. So I don't hardly need to reach out to speak even with high-end fashion brands, because they know it's relevant and they want to also innovate. They're also very curious to, like, that it's a new material in itself, these new qualities. So first, working with fashion brands, think of brands that also produce, can first go to bags, for example. But then later, I'd love to make this chair in a different way and really use it as upholstery and furniture, and even for in cars and planes to provide. So it's always it has a luxury feel, because it's also natural and luxury. So it just has endless applications, which is a nice luxury problem.
And how, as like your product, because it's a new technical almost invention. If you work together with maybe big fashion warehouses or big fashion in the industry, are they interested in like the product as it is, like as you're saying on the leather on different rolls, or are they interested in the technique that they maybe want to buy or use in their ways of working?
I'm so proud of our technology that we'll keep that in the company. That's really our core value. But mainly the clients are interested in buying our material. Yeah, and then making their own design objects. It's not, so we really work B2B. We don't need to also make consumer products from it. Then, they're just certain parts. It's such a difficult chain, and I think these brands are really well adapted to it and better experts on that field. So we will just provide the material, and also within the company, we now have the expertise already to scale it up. So I would rather do that in-house, set up our first factory ourselves. And after that, if we've proven on one location our factory works, then we could maybe set it up also in other countries.
Yeah, because you are right now talking with Dutch companies, or is it already international? Because I know that's the focus for now.
Yeah, actually it's not necessarily focused on the Netherlands, because most companies we also speak with are from outside the Netherlands. And also some of our partners are not based in the Netherlands. But we do have a European focus, I would say, at the start. I'm really proud of the knowledge we have here in Europe, and I really want to set up this first factory here. And also, I also like to mention, it's like one factory could produce over 5 million square meters of material. So that's also related to why fashion is a nice, very good field to start in, but also that we could provide the volumes that are interesting also for bigger industries, so related to the furniture and the car industry. And that's also what I like. It's a sustainable but scalable material, and that's where you have the biggest impact.
And even sorry,
no, you go.
Even like, okay, so what if like in the fashion industry it's used? How do they? Because I can imagine it's also possible to break it off later on. Like it really becomes a loop, like a cycle.
You mean to collect it again?
Exactly.
And, that
reuse
is
it.
There are a lot of companies also looking in and experimenting with that right now, to collect the material afterwards and then give it a second life. And that fits completely with our intentions. To first see like where can we give it the highest value again, make something else out of it, and maybe in the end also just to biodegrade it and turn it into energy or the nutrients for our own fermentation process, for example.
Yeah, because what I think is so interesting, and I guess you have seen Fantastic Fungi on Netflix, how intelligent actually these myceliums, or how do you call it, are. Was that something that inspired you, or how did you look at that documentary?
Yes, it's been a while that I saw it last time.
Yeah.
But what I really like is that the mycelium gets more attention because it earns it, because it plays a vital role in nature. And I also like that it shows the diversity. So also like, this is one strain that works really well, but we already have a collection of strains that work quite well. So, and then there is this diversity. Well, for us, it translates in diversity of materials that we can provide. And that's what I really like about the movie, about how it shows the potential that the mycelium strains bring.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting to see how clever nature is, and to combine like what nature already has and really leave it, but also add something where you get something which stays natural but can be used in so many different ways. And sometimes I feel like we think we can invent nature, but it's already invented, and it has been like so many years.
Yes,
like
exactly.
biomimicry. I can also imagine that you're using the product, well, not using, reusing, but also learning from the way it grows, it works, it manifests.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's just so much we don't know yet about certain strains and what they can offer. We also have strains that are like really extremely water resistant, for example, so you can just add it naturally. And those kind of qualities, that's also what we're looking into.
Yeah, because you need to add a lot before, like, to like the product of mycelium to become like this leather piece.
No, like there is a trick behind it, because if you just use plain mycelium and you make a sheet, it would be very stiff and brittle. So of course, we know how to treat it to get this bendable and flexible sheet, and that's actually also what is the real value compared to maybe other inventions that it's sometimes a bit more difficult to create this mobile flexible sheet. So that's definitely a core.
Yeah. Nice, curious. I'm also curious to see like all the different strains, how they look different colors.
Yeah, and of course, I mean that's one way to approach, and that's also like fitting our long-term vision. But on short term, we will already soon start to finish the sheets, and then you can also have your own colors and patterns, and then then it's ready for use.
And do you want to focus then also on natural colors, as in made from natural products, or of course you have to see if it works, if it sticks?
Yeah, so there's always a balance between what you personally want to do and what's more strategic to do. So personally, it completely fits in the vision to make use of natural colors, or even like this is like also one of the natural colors of the mycelium. But it also depends a bit what the client requires for this material, and we also have to listen a bit to what the client wants. And if they want it now, then we work with what we have right now. But we will continuously always follow the other inventions or do our own inventions to make it even more sustainable in that sense.
Yeah. And when can we hear with whom you're working, or will it remain a secret? Or
definitely not. I'm really ready to get out there. It's just like for me personally, it has been already quite a journey. But I just feel like every year you feel like, okay, but now I'm really starting, because then you have the location, then you have the best team, then you have the money and the funding and everything. So. But this is exactly, now I really feel like, wow, we have started, and now we're ready for getting out there, getting more known, tell the world what an awesome material we make and what an awesome team we are, because I think team is really important in our company, and there are just different ways to have a large impact and to speed up. You can speed up by getting in millions of funding and then buying in expertise, or you can speed up by bringing in strategic partners that already have a lot of expertise, combine it with our startup that was already making these really nice sheets, and then speed up faster. And that's in the process that we're now discovering together. And I think like within the next half year, we will just make it known and
get out there.
Yeah, and also be, to show like what collaboration can do as well. Yeah. So also for, it's not typical, and sometimes I feel a bit like I'm each time making it more difficult along the way, but it is what we believe in, and we really feel like that to solve an interdisciplinary, to find an interdisciplinary solution, you need a lot of different people, a lot of different knowledge, and that's what we have right now. So, and seeing what we can already make and what our plans are for in the future, I just really hope that other people can also see this value of the collaboration and want to move forward with us.
Yeah, it sounds indeed like people are waiting for things like this. The industry is waiting for things which work.
Yeah, they're not even just waiting, they're actively searching, which is the best market to be in. It's just, it all comes together. Yeah. And right now we would need some more investment money to further scale this up and.
Great.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm very curious when I can buy my first piece or trade the ones I have for something that's more, better for the world.
Yeah, I'm also very curious, and I'll do my best to make it as fast as possible.
So you're also not wearing anything yet. I know, of course, it's not on the market, but I can imagine you can already create things.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing. So we do internal testing with the product, and also now we're going to finish it so we're really close.
Yeah,
it's getting there. Now it's still the sheet, and I do notice like for us this material we get really creative from. We know what we can make from it. We know we have to make products now to show the others what potentially we can make from it. So we're now currently also looking for designers and brands that want to experiment with us to design the first prototypes and test them.
Yeah. Great.
And do those people also come to you, or you're also looking for designers?
Actually, there are a lot of designers, and especially again also fashion brands that approach us. So constant contact. It's a very outgoing job. No, I like that. So there's just a lot of choice, which is a luxury position, and we have to be strategic on what first, what second, and that's what we're working on internally right now. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so on to some investors, which can scale this up pretty soon.
Yes, I hope so. Yeah.
Let's go for it.
I mean, thank you so much for coming here and showing also your world, because of course it's something totally different. We have a sheet, and it's also hard to envision what will come after with that. But I'm super excited and intrigued. Yeah,
and I just hope that. For me, it really started with an idea and the belief that if you find the right people, that you can make it. And now we have it. So now I feel like, now I'm ready to go out.
Possible.
Exactly. But I hope this podcast also inspires others, that if you have an idea and you feel like this is possible, and I just know it is, and then go and try it and make it work.
So where can they find you? Your website?
Yeah, so our website, www.mylium.nl.
With a Y, right?
Yeah, with a Y. It's like mycelium, but without CE. And then we also have an Instagram account that every now and then is more active. So I think now we have beautiful photos there, but we will soon upgrade it with even the better pictures. But LinkedIn, I'm mainly active as well. So follow our LinkedIn page and the website. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, and hope to hear more of you guys soon.
Yes. Thank you too.
Thank you.